With Jurassic World Rebirth in theaters, here's all 7 Jurassic Park movies ranked from worst to best.
That is one big pile of shit.
This is the most boring blockbuster I think I've ever seen, when in all honesty this should be the best sequel. The dinosaurs are not on the island anymore, they are roaming the earth and attacking humans. Think of the end of the second film with the T-Rex attacking San Diego times 100. That's awesome. Let's focus on Locust instead. Let's spend 40% of this 2.5-hour movie on Locust, 30% on this kidnapping plot with the girl I don't give a shit about because of what she did in the last film, and maybe in the last, I don't know, 30 minutes focus on the dinosaurs. You know, Owen spent years training a group of raptors to just barely follow his orders. Well, now apparently you can just lift your hand to any dinosaur and they won't attack.
Talk to the hand.
This is the longest Jurassic Park movie, yet it wastes so much time. Again, it takes until the last 30 minutes to focus on the dinosaurs, and even then it's not great. Not a lot of people die in this movie, and the characters who do die do it off screen. I know this may be a weird complaint, but when you introduce so many useless characters that don't really add anything, I want some of them to be eaten while sitting on a toilet. Or is the dinosaur carnage I love about these films? Why Locust? You think it would pick up when the old characters meet the new characters, but because the new characters lack consistent characterization, and the old characters don't even feel like the same people, it just falls flat. This is the biggest misfire I've seen in a theater. It's terrible. This is way worse than I remember. I know every Jurassic Park movie has a lot of plot holes, even the first one has a couple, but the premise of this movie is just dumb. The island has an active volcano now, which would be like building Disney World in Afghanistan next to a nuclear power plant and terrorist hideout. But sure, now there's a volcano that's gonna kill all the dinosaurs, and most people are actually okay with it. And you know what? They're right. These dinosaurs killed countless people, and they're not even real animals, they're clones. If they were bees or something that's useful, then maybe it would be a bad thing, but they're not, so it's just common sense to let them die. But the main characters want to save the dinosaurs. They're dinosaur rights activists. I can't believe I just said that. The whole crux of this movie relies on making me root for these people and think they're in the right, but they're not. My main problem with this franchise is how they treated the dinosaurs like animals that need to be saved, while also having them eat and kill humans. You can't have your cake and eat it too, just let them be monsters, it's more fun to watch. This film also has no idea how lava works. I usually don't care about the science in movies, I find it fairly easy to suspend my disbelief. But you can't lay that close to lava, you sure as hell can't splash your hand with it. You can bet your ass you'll not survive being engulfed in volcano ash, and that water will definitely boil once lava touches it. Someone will definitely see them ride their truck into the boat last second. They would definitely not wait till the last possible day to get the dinosaurs off the island. A human being hit by a tranquilizer meant for a dinosaur will definitely die. The whole idea of a raptor that attacks anything this laser points at is terrible when you could just remove the laser and replace it with bullets. This movie has so many dumb plot holes that bother me to hell. With that said though, the saving grace is the directing. It's not a surprise that Bayona went on to make Society of the Snow because this film is better shot than most blockbusters. That one long take of them submerged in water was great. I completely forgot about this scene, but damn is it awesome. Just Owen mowing these guys down in one take, like damn. I like that they leaned into the horror, especially in the second act with the Indoraptor, but the script is just stupid. In my last video, I put Jurassic Park 3 in 5th place, which surprisingly caused a lot of backlash. I didn't know this film had so many fans, so I would watch it with an open mind, and yeah, this was better than I gave it credit for. Still flawed for all the reasons I pointed out last time, but thoroughly entertaining and straight to the point. The worst thing about this movie is the characters, specifically these two. The film tries to make you sympathize with them, but they lied to Grant and put his life in danger. Call me narrow-minded, but the whole concerned parent excuse doesn't work on me, especially when everything that happens in this movie is their fault. Alan Grant, on the other hand, really works in this film. In the original, he comes off as a normal guy who's trying to protect a couple of kids, but here he actually acts more like a dinosaur expert. He can look at eggs and rocks for a second and immediately knows what dinosaur they're dealing with. It's pretty cool. This film is really overscored. As much as I respect John Williams as a composer, films like the Jurassic Park and Star Wars sequels have a habit of overusing the theme song to the point that it loses its impact. When we get to the scene where they fly to the island, it's just kinda lame because we heard the score 5 times before it. There's also an obvious downgrade of CGI here too, and the ending is the most rushed thing in this franchise. How are you gonna get the military in this film and not have them fight the dinosaurs? But hey, despite all of that, I enjoy this more on rewatch. Its flaws are evident, but it's never boring or that offensive of a film. If my audio sounds weird, it's because I recorded this a week after recording the rest of the video just to get out on time. I think I feel about this movie how most people feel about Jurassic Park 3. The story is basic and the characters are nothing special, but I was generally entertained. I love the look of this movie. Gareth Edwards is a very underrated director and the visuals are nice. It's also good to see a Jurassic Park movie or just blockbuster in general that's colorful, especially compared to the last films. Dominion literally looks like someone pissed on the camera. Why the hell was it so yellow? The action scenes with the dinos were well done. I love the variety here too. I didn't realize until watching this movie how sick I am of raptors, especially when every single film needs at least 20 minutes of raptor shit. But luckily they only get 30 seconds of screen time, which was refreshing. It's also the first Jurassic Park movie to have no annoying characters. Hallelujah. There's one who's obviously intended to be annoying, but as the film goes on he grows on you and becomes more likable. The only big problem I have with this, other than the formulaic script, is the mutated dinosaurs. On paper it's a cool idea. Imagine a dinosaur with spider legs or T-Rex with a tongue that extends like a frog. You can make some creepy designs and make the dino scary again. They're just dinosaurs. Other than the D-Rex and the dinos with the long tails, I honestly forgot this movie was about mutated dinosaurs. It's well directed and way better than the last two, but not the best of the franchise either. Last time I justified my enjoyment of this to nostalgia, but upon rewatch, no, this is just a good film. I like seeing a fully open and operational theme park with dinosaurs. As much as I like to show on Dominion, Collin Trevorrow did a good job visualizing the park and making the dinosaurs realistic. The opening scene with the close-up of the eggs hatching was really good, and damn did the CGI age well. Very few scenes here look like green screen. You can tell they use real sets and use real environments. And for being a dumb blockbuster, I'm surprised by how good the dialogue can be.
Think it'll scare the kids?
Kids. This will give the parents nightmares.
She is learning where she fits in the food chain, and I'm not sure you want her to figure that out.
I never asked for a monster!
Monster is a relative term. To a canary, a cat is a monster. We're just used to being the cat.
It may be a hot take, but this is what a legacy sequel should look like. The way Collin Trevorrow made a creative and interesting reboot to the original that keeps what you love about the first while adding a new twist is great. Also keeps with the themes and central message of the first film intact. The company putting so many people in danger because they were hesitant to kill the Indominus Rex and evacuate the park. Keeps with the themes of greed and putting money over safety. I don't know, I really have a soft spot for this one. I may not like what it leads to, but as a standalone film it's very enjoyable.
Feel that?
Emily George.
All right. Nice to meet you.
Daryl Stokes.
Come on. What's up, fam? How you doing? All right. Never forget about that.
The only one Steven Spielberg came back to direct is ironically the best sequel. It's not perfect, Sarah's very unlikable, and for an expert she acts very dumb around the dinosaurs. The kid here is also Pratt, who doesn't listen to her dad and sneaks onto the boat, but she's more tolerable than the other kids in this franchise. I like the father-daughter relationship there, and she isn't completely helpless. This is unfortunately another film where the characters are trying to save the dinosaurs from being abused, so they let them out of their cages and probably kill a bunch of people. I don't know why most of these movies need members of PETA to be the protagonist, but it doesn't make for likable characters. Ian is the only logical one here and easily my favorite. Jeff Goldblum brings his signature personality and charisma, and it works pretty well. He has some funny lines.
Oh yeah, ooh, that's how it always starts. But then later there's running and screaming.
The San Diego section was a lot of fun, even if the setup to it is somewhat nonsensical and confusing. It doesn't have a strong script, none of these sequels do, but what it lacks in writing, it makes up for in thrills. I don't think I need to explain why the first film is still the best. All the others for the most part turn to full-blown action movies where the characters try to survive or even fight the dinosaurs. This film really explores this concept. As much as I love the scenes with dinosaurs, I equally love the scenes that explore the theme park and how it works. The characters are likable and feel human. The kids can be annoying and is honestly my least favorite part of this film. But they also act like real kids, and the film seems self-aware of it too, so it's excusable. Steven Spielberg made a truly special film here that couldn't really be replicated, not even by him. I like this franchise and admittedly grew up with some of the sequels, but it'll never live up to the original, and that's okay. It's lightning in bottle with the right cast, score, screenplay, VHS, and director.